Hey, good morning, option addicts. It is Tuesday, June 5th. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my watch list here this morning. So for starters, I'm going to kick off a few price patterns. You'll notice Dow's down a little bit here this morning. Not a whole lot as of yet, though. So just going to give out a disclaimer. These are just a couple ideas. If you find some things here, of course, make sure to combine your own analysis. None of these ideas are guaranteed to make or lose money. So anyway, let's start off with the short list here. I'm going to go to BNI, Burlington Northern Santa Fe here. And clearly an ascending triangle with resistance up here in the ballpark of 95. You got some higher lows which indicate a little bit of a triangle. On this here, looking at about a $7 to an $8 price target within about a 2 to 2.5 month period of time. Next, I've got ACAS on the list, and I'm going to have to zoom out so that you can see this guy. That's about a 6-month price target or so. Resistance at 49. You can see support is climbing on this one. Got about an $8 price target on this $40 stock. And if you look at this in the past, it's had the kind of trend where it's able to do that. It just moves at a nice, slow, steady pace. So about 5-6 months worth of an $8 price target or a 20% move in the underlying once the stock breaks resistance. Next, I've got Air Products, and this is going to be kind of a discretionary way in how you draw these trend lines here, but I'm going to keep it short and conservative, which is resistance here at 79 and support climbing here from as low as about 75. So about a 5-point price target on Air Products once it breaks support at 79. You'll see some duplicates I've been watching here for a few weeks. That's because they really haven't broken or done anything yet. COBZ, I'm still watching for a break of support here at about 1830 to short the stock. So there you have COBIZ. Next on that list is Hanson's, which I don't know if this stock's ever going to do anything. I'm just getting pretty frustrated with it. But looking for a definitive break above 40-ish, and that there hopefully will spark about hopefully a $7.50 move in the underlying over the next 5 months. WTR. I'm going to have to go 5-year on this guy. And you'll see a point of consolidation here, albeit though the trend is interesting. I'll put it that way. It might be the trend that makes this maybe something that might not be all that feasible of happening. But there is a nice little symmetrical triangle going on in here. The trend's slightly up, then it's slightly down. So I don't know. Maybe it's not that noteworthy, but it's one heck of a big triangle. Next, QSII. Been following this one. There's a 5-year chart. You can see it out there nice and clear, but zoom in a little bit. Same thing, up at the top of an upward trend. Point of consolidation, no breakout as of yet, but hopefully it's going to happen soon. This one here, of course, 6-point price target over about 5 to 6 months. CHK, which was a beautiful breakout from a nice little symmetrical triangle yesterday. It's consolidating, pulling back a little bit today, so that might offer a lower risk entry point getting into this trade if it pulls back, waiting for a retest. Garmin, I'm going to let this guy pull back a little ways. It's had a pretty explosive run up, for a few days, pulls back for 2 or 3, then explodes again. I'm hoping that's a little bit of a trend going on here and that this stock starts heating up again. But in any event, got a little bit of a flag forming here, so wait for a break of this consolidation before taking any action. If you look at the same thing here just a few days ago, you can see hopefully a repeatable approach. VIP, for those that are not in this trade, maybe watch this triangle that's going on here. Hasn't really taken any definitive action one way or the other, but wait for a break of 105 if you're going to trade it. I'm going to wait for that as a point of adding to this trade. I've been just kind of stagnant in it for a while, but hopefully we see a break here of 105 within the next week or so. BHI, nice triangle that broke yesterday and pulling back a little bit today. So a retest on this would be good. What you're looking for is an ultimate test of about 88, which is the all-time high on the stock. If you zoom out here on a 5-year chart, there it is, just under 90, about $89, $88 per share. So the more this pulls back, the better of an entry point you have at hopefully riding this up to its all-time high, and then hopefully we'll see a breakout. HUBG, H-U-B-G. Back to the 1 year. Another slight triangle going on here. It's probably out in front of this by a week or two. But this one here, about a 3-point price target for a $30 stock. Cheap options. You do the math. Next, I've got IBCA. Descending triangle. Be careful with the bearish trade ideas. We're in a bull market, but wait for a break of 24 if you decide to take any action here, and hopefully you'll see what looks to be about a 2.5 point, 3-point move to the downside on this already seemingly struggling stock. Next, PVTB. Not the most liquid stock, but the first breakout worked really well. I'm hoping for a round 2. Descending triangle. It's turning down from resistance here. Maybe you take a trade in anticipation of the break of 33. At least gives you some gains in the meantime. But remember, illiquid stock, so do be careful with this. TRN. Another little symmetrical triangle, pennant, coil, whatever you want to call it. Coiling up here right at about $46 per share. Wait for a break of that resistance there before taking any action. MicroStrategy. Got another pennant here forming after the gap. I think the stock is gearing up to move quite a bit one way or the other, and I just don't know which way that is yet. I'm thinking to the downside because it's obviously struggled from some pretty significant highs all the way up here and then just really barreled downwards. So I bet that trend continues, but I wouldn't be placing any money on it before the breakout, let's put it that way. AHM, another struggling mortgage investment stock here. Massive descending triangle. I think there's a good trade to be taken here at resistance at 22 and riding it down to 20. Then again, this isn't a very expensive stock, so whatever you do with it, be careful. KOMG for a bear flag. Good spike to the downside. Starting to consolidate upward. And wait for a break of support before taking a trade here, but who knows? This could end up being a $5 movement. This is kind of a substantial one-day movement, but if you look at in the context of this trend, this stock's been making pretty good movements to the downside. A few more. Abercrombie & Fitch, ticker symbol ANF. Yeah, whoops. There we go, something like that. Ascending triangle. Whoop-de-doo, there it is. All right, so a pretty big move here if we get it. If you look at this, you could argue the triangle starts as low as 65 and measures up nearly to 85. $20 movement in 6-7 months. I don't know, doubtful, but pretty good trade in the short term if you at least ride it up to the next higher high. EON, early onset of a flag, but this stock, if you look at it historically, likes to do this. It'll gap, consolidate for a few days, and then take off again. So keep it on your radar. And then last but not least, PBCT, descending triangle, albeit only an intermediate downward trend. So, not exactly an established downward trend, but a break below 20 could spell a pretty big blow up for the stock. Anyways, that's what's on my mind this week. Maybe it's on yours. Hopefully you found some ideas here or found that helpful at least to look at some patterns to help along with your studies of the topic. If you guys need anything, find me on www.optionaddict.blogspot.com, and hopefully we'll see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.